This is a camcorder I bet no one has ever heard of before. A Panasonic AG-3. Panasonic AG-3P, it says here. It's a Super VHS-C camcorder that was produced from 1993 all the way up to, I think, 1996. What makes this camcorder very unique is this feature over here, 3 CCD, which is a feature that the camcorder I'm making this tape with also has. But to start off, I don't know why I'm starting here, but this is how you eject and insert tapes. The eject button is over here. Yeah, this is where the tape goes in and out. And I'm using an actual Super VHS-C tape. Here's your power switch. You got camera mode, off, and VCR mode. That's the thing about Panasonic camcorders, is that... Hold on a sec. Okay, there we go. It will display the camera's picture in VCR mode until you tell it to play something, and then it will. Like, for instance, here's some footage I'm actually in the middle of overriding. A couple buttons beside the power switches is OSD and reset. Reset resets your counter, and OSD, I'll show you that in a little bit, but this is your display screen to show whether you are recording on Super VHS or regular VHS, whether you're on SP or LP, tape, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or 40 minutes, and you can change those settings with these buttons over here. SP, SLP, S-VHS, VHS. Watch what I'm doing here, right? As my standard setting over here. But for now, the tape's on this setting because there's not really all that much to record these days. Now we're going to go to camera mode. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, this sucker has a color viewfinder, as you can see. Let me focus that real quick. Yeah, you can see it inside of there. Here's a quick demo of what reset does. Obviously, and a reset. And what OSD does is this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You press it 2 times, then it goes away. Here's your VTR controls. Rewind. Oh, let me focus that. My bad. Rewind, play, fast forward, stop, pause, and here you got the usual date and time button. The downer about this camera is that the clock battery does not register properly. This is how you set the date and time for the record. First, you got to have your date pop up, right? AM 12/16, January 1st, 1990, which is obviously incorrect. Hold the button for a few seconds that says shift. And then the year should flash, and then push the set button until the information is correct. Shift. time is really about 9:04, but we're just gonna make it say, we're just gonna make the time say 8:17, or actually no, 9:17. Here you got your image lighting controls and your digital picture effects. There are two different modes. There's green mode and white mode. In the white mode, you got gain up, which is a good setting for low light settings. Wipe, I think that's when you take a picture with the with either the mix or the start section, and you wipe that picture in the middle of the video. In green mode, you got the stabilizer, which is the image stabilizer. It doesn't really work that well in my opinion. Zoom, it enables you to zoom up slightly further than the camera is allegedly able to. Still and strobe, that's another still picture effect. You can take a still picture with the camcorder, and then if you hit the button again, it will emit into a strobe effect. And then wide TV, that widens the image obviously. Low light, black and white balance. I haven't really fiddled all that much with the image setting controls. I'm not so sure the manual focus really works on this thing, if there is manual focus. I think there's only autofocus, but this is your focus button over here, and here's a button where you use your fader. Shutter iris control. I think this controls your shutter speed. And here's a setting where you can have your camera on auto, manual, and shutter AE. I personally like manual because sometimes in auto mode, when the camcorder develops its own settings, it can sometimes screw the video up, not gonna lie. Down here you got your headphone jack, and under this flap are your RCA input output cables. And I almost forgot to mention, this is a stereo camcorder with a zoom mic. So it's got 3 microphones inside the sucker apparently. And here's your little zoom rocker switch. I think we all know how it works. I don't need to demonstrate it. You'll see it on the demonstration clips anyway, but aside from that, this is your jack for an external mic. Here's your zoom mic setting, on or off. The zoom mic is when you zoom up, you know what I'm saying, like really close, it turns the audio into mono. But if you have the zoom mic off, it is all stereo all the time. Then under this flap, you got your S video cable, because once again, this is an S-VHS-C camcorder. Therefore, you will get a sharper and more clear image than regular VHS. This is your record button. It's kind of big if you ask me. Yeah, it's big. Here's what the front of the camera looks like, and it has no tally light, so whether or not the talons will know it's recording, only you will know. Matter of fact, it'll say up here and in the viewfinder. Let's do a demo recording, shall we? It's gonna take like 2 or 3 seconds to actually start recording, which it is now. Then to stop it, you obviously press the recording function once again. Let's go ahead and reset that counter once again and turn off the camcorder. This is where the battery goes, and this button over here, this latch or whatever, is how you take the battery out. Like, watch what I'm doing for a hot minute, right? Yeah. Out comes your battery. And here are the little prongs, which I think this one is kind of starting to get crooked. Could just be me. Oh yeah, it's getting a little crooked because I've constantly taken the battery in and out of that sucker. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is your clock battery door. So that's where you put your clock battery. And last but not least, this is how far its focal length is. 20 times including the digital zoom, and it was part of the Pro line back in the day. A couple downers about this camera is battery life. I have a refurbished battery from a company by the name of Castar. Even though the battery charges for a little over an hour, I think it only lasts 40 minutes from what I can remember. I don't know if it's because I used the camera at separate times that day or what. Another downer is the clock battery. Even though the clock battery is inserted properly, it still sometimes shows that no clock battery logo. Like, it doesn't say in letters, it just shows a symbol. And I have to reset the date and time constantly, which I'm pretty much used to at this point. I've had enough practice. That's a wrap on the overview portion. Let's go ahead and take a look at some demo footage, why don't we?
And it's making the carpet cleaners.
It is. Look at my puppy. Thought this was a very adorable image over here. Panasonic. I just now noticed the digital effects. We're going to tinker around with those a bit. This is as close as we can get on regular zoom. This is digital zoom.